Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. My name is Gil Finley. I am the program leader for Community Resource Development. And what a privilege it is to be able to stand, to have a vision, and have it supported, to be able to see it to come to pass. Today, you get to see a part of that vision we have, myself at Kentucky State University. I am so humbled today for the opportunity to share information that promotes hope for a promising future during a time when there's so much heartbreak and news about the loss of innocent lives in truly a great city. During this unprecedented time, it is an honor to be or to bring a beacon of light. This is such an exciting, engaging, historic occasion for West Louisville. As a native of the west end of Louisville, a former student of Shawnee High School, I remember being a young boy who played in Shawnee Park, Jewel Park, and after high school, I embarked on a new journey, that allowed me to receive 2 degrees from Kentucky State University. It is indeed a heartfelt pleasure today to stand here as a homeboy who grew up in West Louisville, right here, and also stand as an alumnus of Kentucky State University. Kentucky State University, we are enabling our intended future. Along this journey, there will be mountains we must climb. But the late great Muhammad Ali said, it isn't the mountain ahead that wears you down. It's the pebbles in your shoes. Kentucky State University is removing the pebbles, as you'll see us climb, because we have a special role and commitment within the College of Agriculture, Community, and the Sciences to empower West Louisville. At this time, we can make investments to help the west end of Louisville grow, build, thrive, and become a resilient community. We can make a significant difference. Our mission is to develop educational programs that address relevant needs affecting the underserved people in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. The West Louisville Cooperative Extension Office, located here in the Louisville Central Community Center, will allow Kentucky State to offer educational opportunities, entrepreneurial training for small businesses, innovative programs revolving ag technology to help grow foods as an economic enterprise, to provide training in nutrition, health, and wellness in effort to address the health disparities that affect so many lives here. In addition, we will develop community engagement programs that will revitalize this community. We're eager to continue to partner with the Cabinet of Health and Family Services, with whom we implement programs, resources to address issues surrounding the health, education, wellness, and the food apartheid that's very prevalent in this community. On the behalf of Kentucky State University, the Corporate Extension Program, as the program leader, we would like to welcome all Kentucky State board members, cabinet members, faculty, staff, students, and our precious alumni and community partners. Can we give everybody a hand? I was told by my great-great-grandfather, I didn't make no junk. He was a coal miner from Eastern Kentucky who was navigated from the plantations of Alabama. And even with that, it's a pleasure to stand before you here at this moment, at this hour, to see what progression can be made. We're back here as a homeboy to make investments in the hometown.
Amen. All right. Amen.
All right.
At this time, we will have remarks from our interim president of Kentucky State University, Dr. Ronald A. Johnson, who will empower us to enable the intended future. Can you bring
I'd like to begin by saying good afternoon, and it's a joy actually to be here, to be the warm-up act for the people who actually came up with the idea, made it happen, and of course, our governor who is here in support of this really community that is meant to thrive. Indeed, it's an honor for me to be here for such a critically important occasion. I would like to start my remarks by, of course, thanking Governor Beshear, Kentucky Senate President Robert Stivers, Senator Gerald Neal. We also have with us Deputy Mayor Sexton, and of course, one of the people that I know pretty well, and that is Pastor Roosevelt Lightsey of the Community Mission Baptist Church. He is a stalwart. He's been here. His church, of course, has been here as a center of activity and support for this community. I want to thank all of you for joining us in this celebration, the opening of the West Louisville Cooperative Extension Office. At Kentucky State University, one of the three strategies of our university is to ignite the promise of the university. But we can't do that by ourselves. Another strategy that's part of what I call the Kentucky State University Intended Future Plan is to have a support, put in place support for entrepreneurship. And then the third is also to have social impact. Those three are the focus of this particular facility. Earlier this week, we announced the acquisition of a 100-acre farm, a research farm, that was purchased using USDA grant funds. The purpose of that farm, and you'll see how all this comes together in a moment, the purpose of that farm is to actually take a 100-acre farm and then figure out how a 100-acre farm can actually be profitable at scale. Small family farms, whether they are from farms that African Americans have or that others have, are the backbone of this Commonwealth and really the backbone of this country. And so that's one of the areas in which we are engaged in terms of figuring out how to develop innovation, entrepreneurship, and social impact. Well, we're here in West Louisville, and we are here to salute the visionaries who have made this day possible. The journey to get here was long, and I'm certain that many of the challenges that they faced dwarfed the challenges that were involved in putting this thing together, okay? Believe me, at Kentucky State University, we of course know about challenges that are tough. But today's accomplishment in this place stands as a testament to what can happen when good people unite with the intention of doing good works. To those in leadership at the state, to the people that are here in this office, in this space that we're now opening, to Dean Pomper and his team that actually brought all of this together. I commend you for your dedication. I commend you for your desire to support the continued growth of this community and the Commonwealth at large. And I commend you because you are building legacies for the future. You're showing how, if we can work together, that we can actually achieve an intended future for West Louisville, an intended future for Kentucky State University, and an intended future for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I want to thank you all.
Thank you, President Johnson, for your comments and commitment to Kentucky State University and to West Louisville. We appreciate you. It is at this time my esteemed privilege to honor and to invite to the podium our 63rd Governor of Kentucky. That is Governor Andy Beshear. Can we give a hearty applause?
And thank you to Dr. Johnson, Mr. Finley, and all of Kentucky State University for bringing us together here today. Today, we are celebrating good news.
Yes.
And I think it's fair to say that this city needs some good news.
Amen.
It has been a hard couple of weeks for all of us. We've experienced multiple deadly shootings over the last couple weeks that have left so many dead, including one of my closest friends. But I want you to know that I realized, whether it was those at Old National Bank or at Chickasaw Park, those are people's children, brothers, sisters, and friends. And so I share in the grief of all who have lost these last couple weeks or before it. Acts of violence like the ones we've experienced or the ones that happen too often, they hurt. They tear at the very fabric of who we are. In situations like this, we're asked how we move forward, and I think the answer is one we said every day for about a year and a half. That's together.
Right.
Arm in arm.
Right.
One people working for a better future. We are one Commonwealth united with Louisville, not just in these last couple of weeks, but in finding a better path forward. Let's try to love each other, and let's try to love this community with all of our heart. But events like this today give us hope. Hope for new opportunity, a chance at better lives, hope of a brighter future for West Louisville and beyond, and that is the mission of our HBCUs, and they see that through daily. Kentucky State and Simmons and all the HBCUs across the country are remarkable. While they constitute 3% of all the colleges and universities in the U.S., they produce 23% of all of the black college graduates. This new office will help ensure that number increases. It'll help make sure that number increases by expanding higher education options for Kentuckians and even some outside the state that come to these great institutions. I've been proud to support our HBCUs like Kentucky State University, signed bipartisan legislation in April of 2022, establishing the West Louisville Opportunity Partnership, which we hope will work with this university, with Simmons, to promote affordable housing and increase investment in these neighborhoods. I also signed bills into law that provide critical support for Kentucky State and Simmons, including programs that are going to help train more black teachers and expand healthcare access in West Louisville. And how incredible is it that thanks to Norton Hospital and Goodwill, right now we're building the first hospital in the west end of Louisville in 150 years. Apparently, our Creator agrees. Now, this is, in many ways, a decisive moment for our Commonwealth. But one, even with everything we've lived through, from pandemics to floods to tornadoes to violence to inflation to even a war going on in Europe now, I believe is a moment of potential, the likes of which we haven't seen. One where we can better address those challenges that every family worries about at night. If you can't answer basic questions, you don't get to anything else. Questions like, do I have a good job? One that provides security for my family and opportunity for my kids. Can I afford to take my kids or my parents to a doctor when they're sick, and do I have to take 2 buses or drive 2 hours to get there? Questions like, are my kids getting the very best education? And do I feel safe in my home and in my communities? Those are the worries of a parent. I know I am one, and I think they're practicing for thunder right now. But I have faith in God, and I have faith in us, in the people of Kentucky, that we can and we will better address those challenges for every single Kentuckian, leaving no one out. We are at a moment right now where we're ranked number 2 in the entire country in per capita economic development, creating new jobs. That's us right here in Kentucky. Years, we've announced 845 new private sector location or expansion projects totaling $25.8 billion, creating 44,800 new jobs. And what that means is we ought to be moving into what I don't believe is a challenge, but as an opportunity, where there is a good job waiting for everyone who wants one. which means if we can provide the education, thank you, Kentucky State University.
Yes.
If we can get everybody healthy enough, if we can lift people up and address the challenges that might be impacting them right now, I think this might be the best moment of our lifetime to impact generational poverty and to truly move all families forward. Just think about it, with the help of Kentucky State University, with the help of Simmons, with the help of so many people doing such great things in this room. Imagine if we can just place that one individual that maybe had lost hope in a really good job, what that will do to that person's children and their children and their children after that. If we are at this moment of incredible potential, which I think we are, I think we got to get this historic moment right. And that means making sure no part of Kentucky is left out. It means making sure no neighborhood in this city is left out. And it means making sure that people who are far too often left out are included in this great moment of prosperity. So, I want to thank Kentucky State University. I want to thank you for not just doing your job, but expanding, looking for those new opportunities, reaching out to try to find those next youth or adults that are ready for these jobs that are to come. I want to thank you all for having me here today. These hopeful days, these good days, these days when we're not just picking each other up, but we're actually stepping forward and stepping forward for all of our people. It's exactly why I ran for this office, and it's exactly what Team Kentucky is all about. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Governor. Sure, for those wonderful comments and an inspiring synergy to our atmosphere we needed. I appreciate you so much in your leadership. Now we will have remarks from a hardworking senator, which is Robert Stiles, President of the Kentucky Senate. Can we read him an applause?
Thank you for the introduction, and it's good to be here. I want to thank the governor, and I'm going to call him Senator Neal right now, but we've known each other now for over 27 years, so I just call him Gerald most of the time. You can call me Robert, but we did. I want to go back and say, this is a really good day. I want to talk about kind of a little bit of the process. Almost 3 years ago, reached out to Gerald in a role as a Senate President and said, Gerald, let's talk about an area that we've all talked about is maybe not had the economic opportunities, educational opportunities. And let's sit down and let's listen. So Gerald, myself, Morgan Garden, Julie Adams, David Gibbons was involved in this. We talked. But most of all, we started coming down here without a lot of fanfare. Actually, a lot of people didn't even know we were here. And probably the bigger thing we did was we listened. And we listened. And we listened even more. We met with businessmen, we met with young students, we met with pastors, we met with healthcare professionals, we met with community activists. And as the governor talked about the West End Opportunity Partnership, people talked about, well, that's what came out of this. But I kept telling people, wait a minute, watch Senate Bill 270. Senate Bill 270 is how this was created because what we heard from listening, and we had some very, very direct conversations about, what are the needs here? Well, there's food deserts. There's poor healthcare agencies. There's a certain type of questioning of the medical community. There's various things that have gone on that have impeded the upward trajectory. So what can we do? What are things that we can bring to the table? And there was a bill introduced, which was Senate Bill 270. And that talked about how where you have poor healthcare indices, if you have quality access to food, where there's food deserts, you can change the trajectory of those healthcare indices. When you can tie that in with what the land-grant university mission is of K-State, it makes for a natural partnership. So, and then tied in with other historically backed colleges and universities, Simmons, let's create that partnership. Let's tie it in with some funding. Let's tie it in with the Cabinet for Health and Family Services so we know what type of wraparound services there are for daycare and health care and access to dollars to help students get through and change their economic trajectory, their social trajectory, their healthcare trajectories, so individuals can accumulate wealth and pass it on to the next generation. And out of that, with the work, with Gerald, with Morgan, which Morgan was a senator now, he's now a congressman, and others in this community. That brings this day together. That allows us to create partnerships that change all those trajectories for the people in the 9 communities in the west end of Louisville. I thank the individuals that were involved in this, because when you change the trajectory of one person in the state, you change the trajectory for the whole state. So to K-State, Simmons, the individuals here, Laura, you've got a big job over at West End Opportunity Partnership. Let's move forward. Let's have those upward trajectories. To the governor and Gerald, thank you for all the cooperation and support.
Thank you, Senator Stivers, for your comments. At this time, I would like to welcome to the podium a very staple person of the community here. If you're thinking Thunder of Louisville has something going to happen Saturday, he's been a tremendous asset to this community, and that is Senator Gerald A. Neal, Kentucky Senator, Minority Floor Leader. Can we really give her a great applause?
Well, they said everything I had to say.
Just say it again.
Ditto. I got to tell you something. I'm excited about today. About an hour ago, I was sitting in front of my typewriter, and I was saying to myself, now what do I have to do next today? And I'm looking at my schedule, and I know I had something to do, and I know I had to come here, but I was drilling into this, and all of a sudden, the impact of that hit me. It really hit me. What President Stivers just said hit me. This is just a routine day until it all came together, because I want to confirm what the President of the Senate has said. He kind of played it down a little bit. You know, I came together with Senator Gerald, Robert Gerald, Morgan, and those other guys. But I have to tell you, this would have not happened if it was not for the vision, the commitment, and the leadership of Senate President Robert Stivers. I should have taken the governor first, because I'm going to tell you, this governor is one fantastic governor. He gets it, he's not playing. And that's what I like about it. He's so genuine. And he's strong. But he's always thinking about the constituents. When I look at both of them, that's what I see. And that's why it's a pleasure for me and an honor for me to serve with and work with our governor and our Senate President and many of those in our legislature. I want to acknowledge my good friend, Representative Chester Burton, who's here as well. Would you give her a round of applause? Longtime mayor of Shively. See, Governor Shively. There you go. She's a longtime mayor of Shively, but I got to tell you, she's more than that. She's an individual that cares deeply. She is, when you talk about a public servant, that's what she is. She's out here to make things better, as the rest of us here as well. So I think we have a good thing going here. Now I have to tell you, I wrote down these things. I told you I was at my typewriter, but I'm not going to use none of that, because he already said everything. But I'm going to say this is personal to me. This is personal to me because right over there on 10th Street is where I was born, over there in Beecher Terrace. Came from Beecher Terrace to the California neighborhood. But in my teens, since I was 13 years old, I lived in what we then really considered to be West Louisville. Right. And that was the area on 43rd, around Chickasaw Park, etc. And today, I live in Chickasaw Park. I've lived there all my life, other than going to college. That's about it. So my point is that I understand and I know this community. So I know that when I went through that growth period there and then went to another level at college and university. Where did I go? Kentucky State University. So I'm a graduate of Kentucky State University. State that laid the foundation for my academic prowess. But not only that, for my focus, it reaffirmed and confirmed what my purpose in life was. That happened. ASU. So what I'm saying here,
Amen.
All right. Come on.
All right.
Sorry.
Hey.
I take this personally.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank that university for all that it has meant and all it is doing now, and all that it will do in contributing to not only my growth and development, but the growth and development of individuals all across the Commonwealth and the world. And now look at right here and now, in my West Louis. In our West So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you, President Johnson, for the work that you're doing. It's very important work. You have my and many others' full support. I want to thank the governor for his steadfast support. And I want to thank my president of the Senate. But when he says something, he's not playing. He follows all the way through. And that's why I respect him, I respect his governor, and I'm respecting the work that I'm going to know more and more of what's happening in Kentucky State. So we have an opportunity here. And this is just the start of that. It's going to grow, it's going to develop, it's going to touch lives, it's going to help rejuvenate a community that only needs it, but deserves it. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Neal. I would say, we have a saying, I think, before we go further, with this green, white, and gold. Who you with? Just to let y'all know who's in the house. But that's incredible, but you cannot move forward without partnerships, those who are supporting you in your initiatives. And actually, I would like to bring up to hear from Mr. Kevin Fields, who is a senior, who's the President and Chief Executive Officer of Louisville Central Community Center. He's given us the opportunity to enjoy this space. Can we give him a big applause?
Thank you, Gil. To Governor Beshear, thank you so much for being with us today. Senator Stivers, thank you for your visionary leadership and for also being with us. For my dear friend and colleague, and who is the presiding senator of this district, Senator Gerald Neal, who I want to just give him another plug because just last month we were here at Old Walnut Street for our agency annual meeting, and we presented Senator Neal with our highest award, the Lyman T. Johnson Distinguished Leadership Award. And he was in session, but he took time to pipe himself in electronically. His lovely wife was here to receive the award. So now that you're here, Senator, to receive this honor, we want to say congratulations. To Dr. Johnson, thank you so much, President Johnson, for being here. And I just want to say, first of all, welcome. Welcome everybody to Old Walnut Street. You're standing in the midst of the Old Walnut Plaza, our business incubator that when we came to this campus 20 years ago, envisioned days like this when we could bring the vision of Old Walnut Street to life, and to partner with Kentucky State University is a shining example of that. I shared that I met Gil Finley here. I believe the year Gil was 2017. I was in my first year as the president and CEO here, and he began to envision what could happen through his leadership
at Kentucky State as he was advancing economic development, community development throughout the state. But as he said earlier, he's a product of West Louisville, so we had to think about what he could do in West Louisville. And he gained an affinity for what we had envisioned here for this campus. I'd love to share a little bit about that vision with you, but I want to acknowledge Gil and say to Dr. Pomper, thank you for supporting Gil, because I remember when Gil introduced us to you, and you said, let's go. Gil said, it's going to happen now. He said, Dr. Pomper behind it's going to happen now. So I want to say thank you to the leadership of Kentucky State. Certainly want to acknowledge all of our colleagues that are here too. The leadership is here. Our Deputy Mayor and dear friend Barbara Sexton Smith is with us, who I'm proud to share as a member of the Louisville Rotary Club, and does a phenomenal job. I'm so proud of her last week in guiding us through this tragic mass shooting, and her leadership, her and Mayor Greenberg. And I want to give Mayor Greenberg a big rub too, because he's given us a stern face against violence in this community. We have to have a stern face against violence. But I just want to say that this Old Walnut Street vision for us as an organization started in the year 1999 when we came to this campus and we saw a future of change and transformation and economic empowerment. And what we realized that we couldn't just advocate for it, we had to be about it, right? So this campus here is 110,000 square feet of mixed purpose development that includes this Old Walnut Plaza, 20,000 square foot business incubator that's virtually full now. That Kentucky State has over 3,000 square feet of space here, and it's an anchor tenant and is bringing their West Louisville Cooperative Extension Office as well as their SNAP Education Office here. And to make this investment is very prominent. But this campus also has a 12,000 square feet conference center, family strengthening center. We have a 20,000 square foot investment in our organization, Louisville Central Community Center. We're just the second floor tenant here, folks. The Louisville Central Community Center is on the second floor. This campus is Old Walnut Street. But in addition, we also are building the Grand Lyric Theater, an 8,000 square feet performing arts theater that we're about midway through the construction phase, but we need help to close the deal and get it done. We also have a 2,000 square foot full-fledged commercial kitchen that's ready to anchor a catering business and a restaurant. So this whole vision of Old Walnut Street is all about economic transformation, economic empowerment, and leading by example. And all the collateral things that have happened since we came here really just help us to realize that this vision is not in vain. I do want to acknowledge Laura Douglas, who's doing a great job of leading the West End Opportunity Partnership. That's the big deal that's being led by Senator Stivers and Senator Neal and Representative Stevenson and others, but also a community board that is comprised of over 9 neighborhood leaders that will really help to transform this community. So I just want to close with just saying, Gil stole my thunder. I wanted to leave with, who are you with? K-State! Yeah, we're proud of you guys, and thank you so much for being here. We know that this has only just begun. You know, we've only put in the investment of capital and investment of staff, but all the programming and all the partnership and all the work that will help address food insecurity in this neighborhood begins today. So we're proud to be a part of it.
For those comments, we would like to take time to acknowledge and recognize our other Kentucky dignitaries who are here. Can you please stand so we can at least applaud you for your work in Louisville? There's several of you who are leaders in this community. Can you stand or maybe recognize you this time, please?
Thank you.
So, this is a very exciting time for Kentucky State University to build a new synergy and an array of hope as our university strives to make significant contributions to the West Louisville area and to the community of the West End. We kick off this new beginning and new adventures with a ribbon cutting as we ask our prominent leaders, those who have spoken thus far, including our dean, will be closing out, to please stand as we give over this time for our ribbon cutting.
Okay. Cheers. Okay. And if you're going to do that, then Gerald, we're going to switch. Here you go, my friend. You were the graduate. Come on. You were the KS. All right.
So everybody needs to grab the little.
Every once in a while.
Yeah. You pull it tight, then.
You got to pull it tight.
Yeah, you get
What do you want us to do? On the count of three, we're gonna-
everybody needs to look up for a little bit.
Right there. All right.
For a little bit.
Somebody count.
Stay.
3, 2, 1. All right.
As we move towards the end of the ceremony, I would like to give special thanks to those that have made this opportunity possible. Our Dean, Kurt Pomper, Secretary Freelander, Senator Gerald A. Neal for House Bill 270, Dr. Kevin Cosby, Kevin Fields, Brand Identity, the LGP media team, the community resource development team, and the entire staff at Kentucky State University. Also, including our interim director, who's not here, Associate Interim Director, Administrator, Dr. Alcion. She's at another event. It's now my dear pleasure to be able to introduce the supporter behind the scenes, who's quiet, but very significant in all that we've done, our Dean of the College of Agriculture, Community, and the Sciences, Director of the Land Grant Program, with our closing remark, none other than Dr. Kurt Pomper.
Thank you again, Governor Shear, Mayor Neal, President Stivers, Fields, and Representative. Thank you all for coming. It's a very exciting day, and of course, you know, we've heard from Gil Finley. I want to personally thank him for the vision of putting us all together and working with community leaders and really coming with a lot of great ideas. And I want to thank him and his team for everything they've done today and that they've been doing and what they're going to be doing. So let's thank you. It's already been said, you know, Kentucky State University, we're here. We're going to be working with health equity, urban ag, nutrition, entrepreneurship. We want students to find their future and hopefully go to an HBCU, go to Kentucky State University. We're excited and we're here to help. And anything that we can do, make sure you tell us more what you'd like to be done. So, very exciting day. Feel free to come in and tour the facility and visit with us about the programming. Thank you very much for coming and have a great rest of the day.